Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks for joining me on the Possum Stamps YouTube channel today. Today I am making a fun Christmas card, the last one of the year, and I am going to be using this chunky sweater stencil as well as this stamp set from the newest release that's called Ugly Sweater. And I'm also going to use a piece from another stamp set called Cozy Fireplace, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have taken a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm using some Distress inks today. So I'm going to start out, before I use that stencil, just laying some color down onto the cardstock, and this is actually Distress ink in Festive Berries. So I'm just going to take my blending tool and cover that entire panel. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the water bottle and spritz it a little bit, and then let that sit for about 10 seconds, and then take my paper towel and grab that color to leave some water spots. And then I'm going to grab the chunky sweater stencil and blend some more ink. So I'm going to use some Distress Oxide and Candied Apple this time. I'm going to go ahead and take my same blending brush, and I'm just going to start at the bottom. I'm going to keep it kind of towards the bottom, a little up into the middle of the panel, and I'm actually going to switch colors off. And so I just want a little bit on the bottom, and I want to leave a little bit of kind of that white space in the middle. And so I'll go ahead and flip my panel around and then place the stencil again. And then I'm going to use the Lumberjack Plaid in the Distress Oxide, which is, I believe, the newest red color from Ranger. And so I'm just going to blend that other side of the panel and go towards the center, but again, I'm just leaving that little bit of white space in the middle. And then I will take my water and spritz that again, and then let that sit about 15 seconds, and then mop that up and get those beautiful water spots. And then, of course, I have to add a little bit of splatter, so I'm taking some white ink, and I have already wet that little tray a little bit. I put my white ink in this little tray and then just reactivate it whenever I need to use it with a little bit of water, but it wasn't thick enough, so I added a little bit more of the white ink, and then I'm going to take my brush and add a bit of splatter around the card. And then I'm going to start working on my cute little character. I'm going to use the koala bear character for this card. I'm going to do a little bit of masking. So instead of doing the images separately and then adhering the kind of sweater to the character, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sweater first, and then create a mask out of that. And I'm going to create the mask just using some all over sticky notes, but you don't necessarily need a sticky piece of paper. You can always just use a regular piece of paper and put some temporary adhesive on the back of it. But I just went ahead and stamped that up onto the sticky notes, and then I will cut it out. And when I'm cutting out for masking, I always try and cut right on the line so that there's no space around it, so that it turns out as well as it possibly can. And then I'm going to place the koala bear over that sweater, and then ink up the image with some Memento ink. and then I'm also going to add some reindeer, that little like reindeer headband. And so I didn't actually mask off for that, just because the kind of trim for the hat is pretty small, so I wasn't worried about doing too much damage there. And then I'll peel off that mask, and he's all ready to color. So I just used some browns and greens and then colored him in gray with some Copics. always love a little bit of Christmas music to get me in the mood for Christmas card making. But I went ahead and I added a few stars to that background, and then I created a frame using kind of this shiny gold paper. And I'm going to go ahead and add some foam to the back of that and pop that up and add that toward the center of the card. And then I'm taking the string of lights, which is actually from the Cozy Fireplace set, and I'm just stringing that through his little hat there. And then I will glue him inside that center. I actually wish I would have popped him up instead of gluing him flat into the center. I think it would have looked a little bit better, but I'm just going to add him in the center of that just to ground him a little bit. And then I added some presents from the Ugly Sweater set, and went ahead and stamped the sentiment wishing you a cozy holiday season. And that's going to do it for this card. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Wishing everybody a fantastic and safe holiday. Thanks so much for joining me today, and have a good one.